And I just like how it turned out. And that the fact that we could fit it into the apartment. And she can fit all the chairs around it, and it fits the space nicely. I need a little rest after all that moving.
Oh, it looks beautiful! Oh my
We're videoing.
Oh.
Video. This is, why do you like your new table?
Oh, because it's gorgeous. Is there another reason?
Oh.
It's so beautiful.
It looks like you just,
I made
all
some
you need is like some, you need to make fresh baked bread.
Yes.
From scratch. What are you doing over there, Dylan?
I'm scraping out little pieces of the sealant and loose pieces of wood.
The light's shining too much here. Can't see. I'll go here. My hat's like in the way. Like what kind of stuff?
Just pieces of wood that
oh, nice.
have fallen in there and cleaning it out.
Uh-huh.
So that you don't.
Why do you have to do that?
So you don't get like bacteria in there, and just so it looks nicer. You don't want it to look dirty.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of table is this?
This is an English white oak farm table.
Uh-huh.
And it's all reclaimed wood.
Uh-huh.
It's really, really nice, dense wood.
Uh-huh.
Quality.
It's a pretty big table too, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a big one.
Yeah.
But it's low enough that it's still comfortable to use. It's not too high.
Right. Let's look at the legs. What kind of legs are we using here? These are wraparound legs. You can't really see them that well here. Wraparound legs, and we have a 6-inch apron that goes that wraps around. A little bit of an overhang. And this is the basic beautiful farm table here that we have.
Well, it's the basic cut and design, but
this wood is different from other farm tables, no?
The wood is really, really different, and that's what makes it such a good table, is the quality of the wood.
And how do you take care of this type of table, like, because it's not polyurethane or anything like that. It's like all natural, organic sort of
it's raw
protection, right?
Linseed oil.
Mm-hmm.
Turpentine and stuff. You have to treat it like a good pair of leather shoes, which means you have to get wood conditioner and condition it once every like 6 months.
Okay.
Or so, whenever you think it looks like it's drying out, and then it'll last forever.
Right. And it's a pretty heavy table, right?
Yeah, the wood's really dense. The table's well over 100 pounds.
Yeah.
I think it's probably about a 200-pound table. I mean, it might actually be a little more than that, but it's like I think it's heavier than 200 pounds. I mean, and the thing is it's because this wood is so such old growth. It's super dense because you know these aren't really thick pieces of wood, but it's so dense.
Yeah.
And you didn't really use.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people don't. It's in our society we don't really think about the different types of woods. I mean, I feel like people are interested in it, but it's like, I mean, you know, you can go into any store, West Elm or whatever, and buy a table or whatever you want to buy, and it's press wood or laminate or something like that. It's not like real wood.
Well, that's partially due to the fact that real wood is getting harder and harder to come by, and that's why there's such a big market for why there's a big interest in reclaimed wood right now. But it's been going on in the carpentry business for a long time. We've been aware of this because it's been impossible to buy good wood since like the 50s. That's
the
new.
50s.
You have to actually like go out and find old reclaimed pieces of wood that have been used on things like churches or ships. You know, these were either floorboards for a church, or I think it's more likely that they're like floorboards to a ship, like the poop deck.
What's a poop deck?
The poop deck is the deck of the ship,
like the
part
top.
that you work on and you stand on.
Right.
Because this is what they used a lot of the time for. This is the kind of wood that the British used in their naval ships, which is another reason why it's so rare.
Mm-hmm.
There's almost no more left in England because they cut them all down during the British Empire to build all their ships, the Great British Navy. And so it's really nice to get old wood like this and kind of give it a new life.
Yeah, and have it in someone's home.
Yeah.
Where it used to be a barn or a church or a ship.
Right.
And someone was telling me also that like all of the first settlers in America were all seamen.
Right.
Like they were all, they came over on boats. And what they used is they used the boats to make the church steeples and build their churches and build their homes. They just like reclaimed the lumber
goes
from
back
their
to
boats.
Shipbuilding, because shipbuilding was the one place where you had to use wood. And in the old world, a lot of people like to use stone because it's bigger and stronger. But then you can't make ships out of stone.
Right.
So you had to find. That's when they.
So that's when
really
it started with the
woodworking.
wood. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it was always there, but that's really where it became a thing. And then so that's why a lot of the stuff over here is built out of wood, is because they take their ships apart after they came over.
They used to use the wooden masts of the ship as the top of the churches.
Right.
And use all that wood to build their little communities and whatnot.
Yeah.
So tell me about this, how we have here like some discoloration. It's like a darker, almost like a burnt look to it, this panel right here.
Stripe?
Yeah.
Well, that's mostly due to like oxidizing of the wood. So when you have old reclaimed wood, it's all like I said, most of the stuff is like from before like 1945. Like it's old wood.
Okay.
It's been stored for a long time, or it's been built out of, like, it's been something else.
Okay.
It's been a barn or an old farmhouse or any sort of thing.
Okay.
And then they sort of they tear it down, and a lot of times the stuff kind of gets neglected for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's because we could still chop down wood up until around the 50s. We could still get decent wood.
I know that, like, where my mom's from, Suriname, they have a lot of mountain people. Well, it's connected to Brazil, so they share the rainforest.
Right.
And I was watching this documentary where a lot of like the mountain people are saying they have nowhere to live because their wood is being chopped down, and there's like almost no more wood. There's no more. There are no more trees.
Yeah.
And wood up
wood
there.
From tropical areas grows faster and it's pretty dense, but it's not. Its grain quality is poor. It's not really like nice wood, but it's dense and it grows quickly.
And so what do they use that for? What do people use it for?
It's used for commercial things. You know, IKEA does it.
Oh.
And like all these different places. Because I mean, IKEA does use pressed wood, but they also use solid pieces, and there's a lot of other cheap businesses that will go in and they will go into
and they'll just chop down that. So
they're not allowed to do like strip foresting
right.
anymore.
So this is probably because this piece here was probably something else. It was like the outside of like a barn or a house or something like that. That was sitting in the elements.
Probably stored on the top of the stack.
Right,
and
gotcha.
So like these pieces were pressed in, and they were a little bit more protected.
So how did we finish this so that it's like nice and smooth and that people can use it in their dining rooms to eat on? Because this is old wood. You know what I mean? Like how do you protect the wood so that people can keep it for a long time to come? And how do they take care of it?
Well, it's hand planed. That's one thing. We hand plane it and get sort of the excess
The excess wood that's on the outside?
The stuff that's a little bit too oxidized. It's not rotten, it's oxidized. There's a difference. One's water and one's oxygen.
Okay.
And it just sort of breaks it down, but it doesn't make it soft, but it makes it really porous.
Okay.
That's what happens when you put things in the sun. It like makes it like porous and bacteria can get in. So you have to we hand plane it and then you sand it forever because it's such dense wood. It takes so long to sand it and do anything to it. You sand it down, and then you put either a polyethylene on it or you put linseed oil, beeswax, and turpentine, which is the best way to do it.
Which makes it safe to eat on, use it in your kitchen,
it makes
whatnot.
What it does is wood is little pieces of, it's basically straws packed together. And after you sand it, some of those straws are sticking up.
Right.
And so what you do is that's why you polish wood. Polishing wood just makes all the hairs stand down, and it makes it like, and then you put a sealant on it like linseed oil, beeswax, and turpentine, and you seal it up so that you can't, so no bacteria is going into the wood. The wood will be easy to clean. It'll be waterproof. You know, like once this is dry, you can eat straight off the thing. I mean, it's the same sort of stuff that they use on butcher blocks and stuff like that.
Got it.
And then but also since it's not a really heavy, intense, like chemical that's like a chemical based on fossil fuels or plastics. Because, that stuff, it'll seal the wood, but it's toxic, and it's just not really. It
doesn't go with the aesthetic
it doesn't respect the quality of the wood.
Got it. All right, I'm stopping here.
So with this stuff, it'll eventually leave, or it'll sink deeper in. And then you have to go over the surface again with just a wood polish, or wood conditioner. And what that does is it just rehydrates the wood.
Right. And how long have you been working with wood?
I don't know. I mean, my father's a carpenter, and I've been working with him and learning from him ever since I was younger. But
you seem to know a lot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure we could all use this knowledge to just like enrich our lives and like start doing more things with reclaimed wood and with just, not the whole rainforest wood. And
well, working with wood in this manner that you do, where you are respecting the heritage of the wood and where it comes from and the quality, you really start to learn about how fragile the whole system is. I mean, like, what makes this wood so special is there's nothing else like it anymore. And we won't get a piece of wood this good for another 500 years.
Right.
Like this tree had to grow for at least 500 years, probably more. It is probably a really big oak tree, which can get into the like a couple thousand years old. So this wood won't be around for a long time.